And technology, we need to invest. The federal government needs to invest so much in technology. And that's why, for me, when the current controversial issue of the $1 billion from the excess crude funds, I think it shouldn't just be like the Vice President tried to explain it, and I think I came here too on this forum. It shouldn't just be for the Northeast alone. We should be talking about addressing the general security situation in the country, and such funds should be available to rejig our security infrastructure. Every facet of our security needs must, be impacted upon.
You've mentioned...
May I just add, sorry sir, may
Please.
I just add something to that issue of 1 billion? And, whether it was too much or not enough. I'm not really about the lump sum. It's about, as I said, the numbers, cash flow. Where is it coming from? What is it going to be used for? What results can be expected? Can they be measured? I tell you something. We have this unfortunate habit of saying things like security votes cannot be accounted for or something like that. No, it's wrong. I tell you something about security votes from my own small layman's understanding. Anything you can count can be accounted. For you to know the security vote is worth 2 billion means it has been counted. And if you can count it, you can account for it. Telling me you cannot account for security votes is pedestrian, please. I tell you why. Okay, fine. There could be an aspect of your security expenses, probably 2 or 3%, which you can call miscellaneous. The accountants will tell you better, which, okay, fine. Miscellaneous expenses, that may not really be accounted for. But for the fact that they have actually a caption on your financial statements as miscellaneous is also a form of accounting. You don't just take so much money and tell me we can't account for it. It's not possible. And that is what we do, as I told you, because there is a seeming allergy for numbers, which is driven by this urge to remain non-transparent. So it's not about 1 billion. More than that could be voted, no problem. It's about cash flow. Let's look at what's happening. Don't forget, our law enforcement and armed forces are cost centers. What do I mean by cost centers? They don't generate profit. They don't, they are cost centers. But then they give us a value that we need as a nation. That's defense, security. That which goes in must match that which is being given. That which goes in must meet the expectations for which it was drawn. And once we have the numbers, you can actually sit down and say, okay, XYZ staff, chief of staff or IG, in your tenure, we got this much, we saw this much appreciation, we saw this much depreciation, we saw this much equilibrium. Grade yourself. It's clear, it's straightforward, it's simple. Once you can do that, it trickles down to the last man on the street. Everybody has to breast the tape. I can, for example, sit down and tell you how many hours a policeman can stand and how many day hours we have on his beat. And by so doing, how many policemen do I require? This much, and it's going to cost me this much to sustain them, their meals, what. For 1 month, how much is a camera? A camera can do what they're doing without falling sick, without going on leave, without all those things that's it. It's about numbers. And if you don't have these numbers at your fingertips, you're not going to see the trend and the picture and know where to gauge it and know where that 20% cruciality that will give you the 80% result is.
Oh, okay. We've talked about, some of the bad eggs, quote, in our security agencies. Let's talk about reward. Let's talk about their welfare. Because as you said, a whole lot of things come together, in a mix to determine how a security operative will react to certain situations.